Alright guys, so before we get too far ahead, I just want to let you guys know I reopened that Maya file that we created our low poly meshes in, and I renamed them so they match the naming convention of the ZBrush file. So I just took the first letter of every object and I just made it capital, and I got rid of the S on lows. And once that's done, guys, we can just export this as a FBX painter. So we're just gonna close this out, hit Control N to start a new project. At the top, we'll select the select button and we'll go for cabinet low, bring in our low poly FBX. Document resolution, we can leave that the same. Hit OK, so that's gonna load up our low poly geo here. And you'll see the UVs over here looking nicely. I'm gonna turn this off really quick. Actually, I'll leave it for now, why not? So I'm gonna go over to texture set settings. I'm gonna start baking the high poly onto the low. So usually I'll do 2K for something so small like this. You don't want to have it up so high, but I'll just do it because my computer can handle it. Grab that high poly geo that we did in ZBrush. We're not going to change the frontal or rear distance. We'll leave those the same. Anti-aliasing, we could change it to 4x4. We could do overkill by 8x8, but we'll do 4x4 for now. We'll go to match. We'll do mesh by mesh name, and that's why we had labeled the high polygeo high and we labeled the low low. So we'll just go to bake these out. All right, so these bakes came out flawless. They look pretty good. Let me hit tab to zoom in on this. And let's give it a quick look. Actually looks pretty good. I don't see any artifacting. The bakes came out nice. All right. So what we'll do now is just throw on some quick materials. We're not going to do a fancy job. This is just for the tutorial, and just showing you guys the process from Fusion to GameEngine and low poly res. And I'll let you guys see the wireframe once again, so you'll see that there's no crazy topology from the CAD geo, because we fixed that in Maya. So there's a couple of textures that you guys can do a custom job if you want. But I have a couple that I like. So I'm gonna look for the plastic armor glossy material. I found that on the Texas, on the Substance Painter Share website. So here this is here. I don't know which one it is. Okay, so it's this glossy. This is the one I like. I'm gonna add this. Looks pretty good. It's too plasticky, so I'm gonna dive into the folder really quick, and I'll go down to the base, and I'm gonna make it more metallic, give it more of a shiny feel, and I'm also gonna change the roughness down a bit because that's too rough. And this looks fine, this around. This looks actually pretty good. So I'll just add another material over here for everything else. So chrome blue. There's a chrome blue that I liked. Is that a smart material too? Yeah. So I'm gonna grab this material, and I only want this to cover the shiny bits. So I'll just go to right click on it, add a black mask, and I'll go over here to select the polygon fill, and I'll grab all the UVs for this. I'm just selecting the parts that I want. And once you're satisfied with this, we can just save this out so we can do some variants later on if we want to. And now we can start exporting some of the textures. So to do that, let's go to File, Export Textures, and you can, let's say, pick the location really quick. Desktop, File Cab, Textures. I'll save one for Marmoset. Oh, spelled that wrong. And this would be from Marmoset. So I'm going to do Spec Gloss from PBR Spec Gloss from Metal Rough. And change the texture size to 4K. Hit export. And I'm also going to export a set for Unreal Engine. Export textures. I'll make a whole nother folder. Let's say UE4 text. And then I'll go over here to the configs and grab a Unreal 4 packed. And I export those. And normally, like for something this small, you would do like a 2K or 1K for the texture sets. But I'm satisfied with the 490 or 4096. Hit OK.